last few weeks in my pocket, and I wanted to revisit this idea of using these hex nuts and a little bit of paracord as an improvised self-defense tool, especially for non-permissive environments. Now, a permissive environment is an environment where you can bring your sidearm or a blade or something like that for self-defense. Carrying this in non-permissive environments, especially deconstructed, right? So I eat a lot of deconstructed burgers. That means I say, bring me the burger without the bun and put some lettuce there, and they take all the pieces apart, and then I eat what I want. So deconstructed improvised self-defense tool with these hex nuts is I got a couple nuts in one pocket, and then I usually wear something like this either around my neck or on a bracelet, or it's in the other pocket. But when you put it together, it becomes a great self-defense tool. And at the same time, I've been playing around with using it in other ways for self-defense. So more than just putting it on a string and using it as like a flail or swinging it at somebody. So I wanted to talk about that here and give you some of the ideas. As I've been walking, I found another nut, another hex nut in the dirt. There's so much construction going on everywhere that I work that I find all kinds of improvised self-defense tools everywhere I go. Now this is also a very heavy nut. It's not as big as this 3/4 inch. So it's about this side. Hey, Dead Wolf Resistance is here. Good to see you. We're talking about self-defense tools, improvised. Been walking around with these two hex nuts. I found this one. And then a few days later, I found this big, chunky hex nut. Now, the first thing that occurred to me when I found this one was that I can pick this up and I can throw this with a great deal of accuracy. And I practice throwing right hand, left hand, as we talked about before. And so I can hit my target with this hex nut, and it might not, knock somebody out. It might not do more damage than that, but it would be a very good distractor. I could throw this in your face and take off running or hobbling really fast, as would be my case. It's good to see you too. Thanks for checking in. But it's very dense, heavy, made to last a very long time. I'm not sure what this one came off of. Found it at the base of a power pole. So probably something having to do with our critical infrastructure. It's just sitting in the dirt. But so the first thing that I thought of, if you're carrying, and we didn't talk about this before, we talked about, and we'll do that in a minute, putting them on a piece of paracord and then, or a shoelace, and then being able to swing it and hit somebody that way. But hey, Texas here from Portugal, welcome. But I thought, obviously, something I didn't think of before, if you had a handful of these, you could take a couple out and you could throw with some accuracy and hit somebody in the face or hit somebody on their body or throw it in a way that they don't want to get hit. So they might cover up. That might give you enough time to create some distance, especially if they had a knife or some other kind of blade or some other kind of weapon that they're coming at you and you don't have anything because you're in a non-permissive environment. You're a rule follower. You're a law-abiding citizen, and they're some kind of punk. So you throw this at them, create some distance, so it becomes like a ninja shuriken, like something they throw for a distraction. Hey, Philly Fathead, Semper Fi, good to see you. So that was the first thing I thought. And because they're so heavy, I think that would be really effective. You can even throw a handful, but then you'd be out of hand. Hey, Gabriel, it's good to see you. Gabriel's here from New York. So the next thing I thought, and we did talk about this a little bit, is a loaded fist. Now, a loaded fist with just two hex nuts isn't that effective. I can put it, martial artists punch with the first two knuckles anyway. So I can load it in those first two knuckles and I can hit with a lot more force with these two knuckles. But I was thinking if I took the bigger one, put that on the first knuckle, and then the ones that are just a little bit smaller on the next two fingers, and then the last one there in that pinky finger, and I held it this way really tightly. Now I've got a very heavy fist load that I can use to smash somebody in the jaw for self-defense. That might give me a little bit more knockout power. That might allow you to create a little bit more damage for self-control or self-defense, where you could hit somebody in a way that you couldn't hit them with just your bare fist. Now you have this fist load, so you have the weight there. It doesn't allow your knuckles to compress, your fingers to compress, so you're going to strike with so much more power and so much more force. Then I also thought, because we do have the paracord, Silent Walk is here, cheers. If I spin that or weave that through my hex nuts, and I just went once, then I tie it on the end, I can put that around my thumb, I can wrap that around, and then organize that in my hand and punch somebody with it. But I could also do what we talked about before, where I am using it as a flail, swinging it in their face. I can swing it and throw the whole thing in their face if I needed to. If I need to, Itchy the Scratchy Case here from Wales, welcome. It's good to see you. I can also feed it through, again, kind of like weaving there. A little arts and craft project. Let's see if I can get that down there. There we go. And then maybe do that a couple more times. I still want to have some length of cord. And of course, I cut this cord already. You could cut the perfect length for you. But if I started to do that, and I could bring it on this side, I can bring it on this side, and you can start to do that tightly. You could even weave it in a way that you cover the whole thing, kind of like a monkey fist, so that they don't see any of the metal, or you don't see any of the metal. But then you would still have them kind of in this formation. Yeah, Silent Walk said made one, clipped it on the belt loop. So this becomes kind of like a monkey fist and a fist load all at the same time. So now you can wrap it around your wrist. You could wrap it, you can make extra paracord to wrap around your knuckles, give you a little bit of protection on the knuckles. You have that fist load there, so that as you're striking with so much more force. Do your hammer strike, smash the guy in the jaw behind you for self-defense. You uppercut, hooking punch, all of the regular punches with the monkey fist loaded, the fist load in your hand. Or if you take it off, tie your little knot. And then the third way that we use this, as we've been alluding to, around your thumb, it's in your fist, you smash his face, but then you can whip it out, and I gotta watch it, I don't break my windshield or my window, and then swing it coming forward. You could put it in your middle finger, bring it through, smash, bring it out through your hand, smashing, and do a lot of damage for self-defense. And again, this obviously it's self-defense, it's not for going out picking fights with people. John said he just got a survival spear with a 4-foot handle. That is not an improvised self-defense tool. I know you know that, John. But that it would be very effective for self-defense. That'd be something that you could definitely leave in the house, leave in the apartment, and defend yourself with if you had an intruder, somebody came at you, and you would probably be justified using it. If you walk down the street with it, you might get in a little trouble. But you could walk down the street with these in your pocket. And like I said, you could weave it in a way. And if you've done this, let me know. If you've already set one of these up where you weave and you just keep weaving the string all the way through and you get it nice and tight and you weave it kind of in a basket pattern. You can get it super tight. Then you have the weight of it, and then you have a long string coming off. You can put your keys on the other end. You can use the keys for self-defense, or you could wear it as a heavy necklace. You could have it in your pocket, and when you need to, you walk in an area that you don't feel safe, put it in your hand and use it as that monkey fist. So this becomes, and of course this is too short for the monkey fist. You'd make it a little bit longer, but you'd be able to create some reach advantage for you, reach out and hit him where he couldn't hit you because you have that length. But let me know in the comment section what you think. So we know about this $5. We say $5 because you can buy, I put a link in the description. You can get seven or eight of these for $10. If you go to the hardware store, the do-it-yourself shop, you can get, each one of these for about $1 or less. And then you can get a piece of cord. This 550 cord you see anywhere. Hey, Red Dog, it's good to see you. Gabriel's here. It's good to see you, Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel says you can work it like a Kubotan. But put that in the comment section, not just the chat, if you would, please. That helps when you put it in the, I ask you to put it in the comment section because that helps this channel grow and more people get to see it. More people join the conversation. We learn from each other. Hey, Garen, it's good to see you. But what do you think? We have 3 ways we can use this. Deconstructed, just a handful of these in your pocket. You pull them out, they're heavy enough, you can throw them with great accuracy. You can create some distance. Hey, Texture, it's good to see you. Throw it at somebody if you had to. Jolien is here. And yeah, Garen, we were talking about that a minute ago. This is a makeshift monkey fist. So you throw a couple, keep a couple on the your lanyard or your string, your 550 paracord. Um, or weave them together like this. I had these stacked up because they're different sizes. These 2 I bought, and thank you, Texture, for your subscription. This one I found about 3 or 4 weeks ago. This one I found a couple weeks ago, and you can see different sizes, but that worked out perfectly in my big fat chunky hand. I put them largest to smallest, starting with the first knuckle, squeeze that tight, wrap that around the wrist or around the thumb. Then I've got a really tight, heavy fist load. That's a second way to use it. And then the third way would be that flail. Hey, Studer, great to see you. That big flail swinging around, monkey fist, improvised, like Aaron was saying, coming out of your hand after you hit them with it and then smash. And I make monkey fists with steel balls, but I didn't, I started, like I said, I threw these in my pocket. I didn't want to be saying, this is a $5 improvised self-defense tool and then, just be a theoretical thing. I haven't used it for self-defense, but I've carried it to see what it feels like to have these in your pocket. It becomes almost like a fidget spinner for those of us with extra energy. We need to fidget things a little bit. But and just the metal, it's just like having a pocket full of marbles when I was a kid. I loved having marbles. And hey, Linda, it's good to see you. So how would you use it? I give you 3 ideas. Add to the conversation. You might have ideas that I didn't. These ideas occurred to me over the last few weeks of carrying it. The first big idea was, man, especially when I found this one. This is so heavy. This is as heavy as a rock, and it's not as big as a rock. And I started throwing it, and I can throw this with great accuracy. Yeah, Garen says you can use the keys in the same way. Garen, I was saying before, you can weave this through, and I just went through a couple times because I don't have that much paracord. But if you were to line these up and then weave it in a way that it stayed like a stick, right? So that it maintained this shape, so that you can use it as that fist load. And then you made the back end of it long enough. You can even weave it like in a braided pattern, and then put a little key ring on the end. Put your keys on one side, have this in your hand on the other side, and then be using the whole thing, swinging the keys and smashing him in the face for self-defense if you had to. And if someone questions you, it just looks like you got a nice keychain, right? Especially because if you weave it in a way, you can cover up all that metal, and then it just looks like a keychain. But those are 3 ways, and I said, you can back fist, hammer fist, all the different fists that you can use with this fist load, this extra piece of all this metal in your hand. That this all together, this is probably about, I don't know, a little bit less than a pound, but you don't need a lot of weight. The purpose of the fist load is to add some weight to your punch so you hit harder, but then also to keep your knuckles from compressing and absorbing the punch and the energy when you smash his jaw into his face for self-defense. But let me know in the comment section, what do you think? How would you use it? Am I missing any? What else can I do? I'm going to throw these back in my pocket. I'm going to deconstruct this. When I get a chance, I am going to weave it and see how I can make it so it lines up and get it super tight, and braid the other end and put a little keychain on there. Then I'll pick up some more. Yeah, Garen says it adds rigidity to your fist. So, but let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section if you would, because in the comment section, the algorithm picks it up, and then we grow the channel. The chat's great too, but you really help me out when you do that. Anyway, let me know what do you think. If you need some of these, you want to order them and have them sent to the house, or some paracord, I put some really inexpensive options in the description. And if not, just run to your do-it-yourself shop. They've got these at the Walmart. I haven't seen them at the Target, but I know they're at the Walmart, Ace Hardware, the Home Depot, all the places here, the big box stores, Lowe's. But overseas, I think you call them a do-it-yourself shop. But you can find something like this. You might not allowed to be able to bring anything else with you to defend yourself, but it's nice to have some options. This is just like a metal man-made rock, right? You pick up those 5 smooth stones with your sling and you slay Goliath. Maybe you need to slay your Goliath with a pocket full of steel hex nuts. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.